I am 12 weeks out of competition. Today is deadlift day and we're working up to a heavy single with a snatch grip deficit deadlift, an extremely difficult variation of the movement. Now, I wanted to give you something a little different today, more of a commentary or a reaction to my training session to hopefully give you a little more insight and depth into my mindset during this session. And I also wanted to take you through my warm-ups today for my deadlifts. So instead of talking to the camera between sets and during the session, I'm going to do the talking now. I've already trained. So, I hope you enjoy this. Hope you get something out of it. If you do enjoy it, make sure you let me know in the comments so I can do more of it. But let's get this session underway. I'm gonna hit the play button in a second. Hope you enjoy this. Make sure you like this video, you drop a comment and subscribe. Let's go. So officially, welcome back to your mum's favorite channel on YouTube, Cult Strength. So we're warming up. We're warming up now. I did grab myself a stationary bike a little while back, so I like to hop on here just for a little bit, 5 minutes or so, just to get the legs warm, get some blood flowing, before I get into my activations and my real warm-ups. So that's what I do. Now, I like to start my warm-ups for my lower body movements, deadlift squats, with getting my glutes and my hips nice and warmed up, nice and activated. So as you can see here, I have a hip circle or a resistance band of sorts around the lower knee or just below the knee. Some people put it above the knee. I like to put it just below the knee. But the goal here is when we're walking side to side, keep your hips externally rotated. Don't allow your knees to cave in. And it's very important to warm up that posterior chain before you use it, right? Hips and glutes, they're a big mover when it comes to deadlift, so you've got to make sure they're switched on. Some assisted planks here, wolf hopping on my back. Again, we're doing deadlifts, right? So we're using our back a lot. We need to make sure our back is supported and strong. We need to make sure our abs are activated so we can brace effectively, okay? So you want to make sure your back is protected during the session. Planks, excellent work. All right, nice and easy. Again, nothing crazy. These aren't, drastic exercises. These are simple, but they really work. Now the next one, this is a really good one, I find. It's a quarter Turkish get-up, okay? So it's not a full Turkish get-up, but we have a dumbbell loaded. Now the reason I like to do this exercise is not only do we need to activate our abs, but we also need to work on getting them stronger. Now this is a great movement where we can actually load it with a weight and progress the load. Okay, now we can do planks and put weights on our back, but at some point that becomes a little aimless. You know what I'm saying? But with this, we can load that dumbbell up quite heavy and continue to get our abs stronger. Now what we're trying to do here is flatten our lower back into the floor, okay? We're trying to get a nice neutral spine, and the bracing, the way we're using our abs here is similar to how we would brace and contract into a belt for a squat or a deadlift, okay? It's that downwards pressure, we're pushing down and really, using the stabilizers as well. We've got one leg extended, which is again, keeping our hips nice and neutral and making sure that we're not getting that arch in the lower back here. We're trying to avoid that by pushing our spine into the floor. That's what we're trying to do here. So again, this is something I do pretty much before every deadlift session. Oopsies. Yeah. Putting the shin sleeves on again, very important as always. And I apologize if this video is a little off. This is the first time I've done, a reaction video, so bear with me. But I like the shin sleeves on the shin just because, again, we want to avoid banging our shins up and causing calluses around the shins. We want to keep them healthy because we don't want to avoid them. When we start trying to avoid our shins during deadlifts, our technique kind of goes to shit. So shin sleeves will help you avoid a lot of those sorts of issues. 70 kilos on the bar to start with here. Now again, snatch grip deficit deadlifts today. So a very difficult variation. One of the most difficult variations, a very uncomfortable variation, and this is my final session of this block of my brand new program, which is available on my website, cultstrength.square.site, Deadlift Devastator. Now, first set, I'm just feeling the weight a little bit. I'll do this weight twice. The first set is just feeling the weight, getting the body moving again. We've done the activations, now we're just getting used to deadlifting. Second set, I will start to switch on a little bit more and make it a little more specific now. So you'll see a little shift in intensity here, but again, we're starting 70 kilos nice and light, but it's important that we don't be passive with our warm-ups. I always say this, right? We want to treat our warm-ups with respect. We want to use them as the opportunity they are to get better. So my goal in my warm-ups is to be efficient, to be technically sound, and to move the weights as well as I can. I also want to develop that power and speed off the floor now. This is a very difficult movement to be powerful in. It's a very disadvantageous starting position, a very weak starting position, which is why we're doing it. But any power you can generate and gain, then that's good. That's a bonus. Absolutely. 120 kilos on the bar now. And again, we're going to move it with a little bit more intensity now. It's 50 kilos heavier. So I'm making 50 kilo jumps at the moment. That was, typically what I would normally do if I was using these plates. Otherwise, if I'm using the 20 kilo steel plates, they're just 40 kilo jumps, but much of a muchness. Haven't got the straps on yet. I do recommend when you do this movement that you wear straps. Remember, it's not a grip movement. We're not doing this for our grip. The grip is a limiting factor, and that would be defeating the purpose of doing this movement. So make sure you do use straps when you do the snatch grip deadlifts, okay? Remember, this is not a grip thing. This is not an ego thing. It's just gonna be way too limiting, and you're not gonna be able to lift heavy enough for what you're trying to achieve here. So make sure you strap up. I think I strap up on this set, 170, even though I can do it without straps again. Top set's gonna be done with straps, so I'm gonna get used to it. Got the Colt Strength figure 6 straps. I'm not sure if I have any left on my website. I might have to get some more. They sold out really quickly. They're excellent figure 6 straps. Absolutely, absolutely. And peep the Goosebumps shirts, by the way. I picked up some of these Goosebumps shirts. You can see one in the video there. I don't know if you liked Goosebumps when you were growing up, but I loved that shit. I was a little nerd. I read all the time. I like the spooky books. Absolutely. 170 kilos here. And the deficit I'm using is roughly 3 to 4 centimeters, just over an inch. We don't need to go much higher than that. You can use a crazy deficit, but at some point it's just getting too far away from specific enough to help your deadlift. It still needs to resemble a deadlift somewhat. So I find 3 to 4 centimeters is typically a sweet spot for the deficit. 170 kilos, 3 plates, 3 25 kilo comp plates. And this is where we're gonna start really turning it on now. These are the sets now. As we're making big jumps, I don't have a lot of sets, right? So I need to make sure I really earn the right to that top set. Easy money, easy money. Bit of attitude there. There's a bit of attitude there. I don't know how I feel about that. No, he's pretty good looking. You're all right, mate. You're all right, champion. 4 plates going on the bar now. 220 kilos. So again, 50 kilo jump, nothing new. But it is starting to get heavier now. This is where it is starting to, this is where I start to feel resistance. 170, I don't really feel much resistance. 220, yeah, bit of resistance. Look at that athleticism. Goodness gracious me. You are looking at greatness right now. That's crazy. Did you see that? But yeah, 220. This is where I'll start to feel some resistance now. With a normal deadlift, 220 is still very easy, but with this movement, as I said, it's typically considerably harder than a regular deadlift, or even any other difficult variation. This is a very difficult one. This will just be a single here, so 1 rep. Remember, the top set today is a single as well, so we're working up towards a single, and the goal was 340 kilos, so pretty achievable, I think, if you know what I mean. It's not an RPE 10 single today, mind you. All right, 4 plates. Let's go, big boy. Oh, yanked that shit. Let's go, son. Mate. All right, calm down. It's only 4 plates, champion. Pretty excited. That's moving really well, moving really well. Now I'm gonna start making some smaller jumps. Oh, watch out, here he comes. Man, I love this. I have the opportunity to train at my home gym, and my kid's always watching me. So, great opportunity for me to, to lead from the front and to show him what's up, which is great. I love that. He gets to be there, and he also likes to get involved and do some sets. He likes to grab some dumbbells and throw them around. But we have 260 kilos here. It's my all-time bench PR. I've got to beat that soon. 573 pounds. I like the purple and red on that shirt though, I'm just saying. I'm digging it, heck yeah. 260, this is my second last warm-up, so it's getting pretty serious now, you could say. It's getting a little bit serious, champion. All right, what do you got, mate? Go on, sort your shit out. What do you got, mate? But honestly, right now, this is where the head has to switch on, right? We got to start moving it. We've got some weight in the hands. It's time to go. It's time to go. I like to have fun, I like to fuck around, but it's time to go now. 260 kilos, this sets the tone for the day. Is it a good day? Is it a bad day? We're gonna find out in a minute. This is where I kind of find out what's up. Let's get this shit. Oh, that moved well. That moved very well. So, obviously, a strong day, feeling quite strong. Now again, 260 normally would move a lot faster than that, but this movement, it's deceiving. That moved really well relative to what normally it would move like this on this movement. I just don't compare it to my normal deadlift or I'd be sad about it. Pretty simple. But this is my last week of this movement, then we move on to just a regular deficit deadlift for 4 weeks, I think, before I put my deadlift suit on as I get close to competition. Equipped, qualifying for Giants Live 2025 World Deadlift Championship. Now look at that physique, look at that silhouette. Mums watching, you're welcome. Men, you're also welcome. It's up to you if you want to enjoy it or not. No judgment here. Looking pretty beefy. I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. I'm definitely leaning out a little bit. Eating really well, getting some more cardio in. But here's 300 kilos. My last warm-up, this is where I really, say, do I earn the top set or have I been a bitch today? 300 kilos, 661 pounds. And with this movement, it's heavy. It's heavy, it is what it is. Normally, this isn't overly heavy for me, but with this movement, we've got to respect it for what it is. It's tough. Let's get big dog. 300 kilos, 661 pounds. Last warm up. Let's hit it. Oh. Yeah. It moved well, it was smooth, but you can see, right? You can see that it starts to get hard at that midpoint. We're not getting the same leg drive, we're not in the same position, the leverages suck. You're starting in a very weak position. It's really hard to generate that momentum off the ground and to hold that position, but you got to do it. We're loading on top set, baby. Straight to 340 kilos, 750 pounds. This is pretty serious. Now the goal here is it's not a max. The goal here is that there's room in the tank, not for next week, just because I'm not trying to hit the ceiling right now. I'm not trying to hit the ceiling right now. Ideally, the goal would be to have 10 kilos or so in the tank. It is what it is. We're going to hit this, but 340 kilos, baby, let's go. Just over 12 weeks out of competition. The goal is going to be 420 kilograms plus minimum. It's got to happen, baby, it's got to happen. Strong back, baby, I'm thinking right now, strong back, strong back. Keep that back nice and strong, drive with the legs, that's how you do it. Got to keep the back strong or it ain't happening, baby. Let's go. Strong back and push, push. Ooh, yeah. Hey, I'll be honest with you. There was 10 kilos there. I know that looks hard, but, as I said, it does look typically a lot harder than normal deadlifts, and it wasn't a whole much deal slower than the 300. So I would say there's 10 kilos there, and it probably wouldn't look much different than that. It was around an RPE 9 in my opinion, which means, we got room in the tank, so that's great. One back down set today, a set of stiff leg deadlifts. It's a drop in volume for week 4, just a bit of a volume deload, so one top set, one back down set with a variation, 260 kilograms, stiff legged deadlifts. And, again, these are typically a lot harder after doing a top set. But we're moving them, technique's nice, not rushing, nice and controlled, lovely. Loading up those hamstrings and glutes and the back, right? We're really using the back for this movement as well. We're strengthening the lower back. It's doing a lot more than it should be in a controlled circumstance though. You know what I'm saying? But that was tough. It's hot today. It was warm, baby. sweating like a pig. So just the 2 deadlift sets, and finish off with a couple of sets of these bloody hamstring curls. Got to get these hamstrings to go. I'm going to be training hamstrings 2 to 3 times a week, you know, to failure. Not a lot of volume, 2 to 3 sets each session, but to failure, to absolute failure, especially on the last set, to the point where I can go no more. We're trying to really elicit some growth, trying to make these hamstrings big and fat, because they're going to help me deadlift some big weights. Absolutely. Really squeezing it in, controlling that tempo, getting a nice stretch, full range of motion. Remember, we're going to get the most gains from the bottom point. So from the full stretch position, that bottom range there is where you're going to get all the body gains. Oh, and by the way, I got my first delivery of Papa Macros today. So if you're based in Australia and you want some great quality nutrition and great tasting nutrition, head to Papa Macros, use your code CULTSTRENGTH for 10% off. It's a really reputable and incredible meal prep company, and you know, taste is important to me, so that's why we've gone for Papa Macros. They're supporting me during this prep, and I'm very grateful to be on board. And we're just finishing up the hamstring curls now. You know, tough. Look at this, man. It's not moving. It's hardly moving. We're fucking banging them out in that bottom range. There's so much stress happening through the hamstrings in that bottom range there, but that's crazy. But that's the end of the bloody training session, you know. I think it was a very successful day. Again, very different format to my usual. I do hope you enjoyed it. Actually, this is the first one I've done, and I quite enjoyed that. I found it was quite easy, and I'm definitely keen to do some more if you want to see some more of this. Just something to change it up a little bit. You know, I do put out a lot of content, and I don't want it to get stale. You know, I'm trying to grow the channel, doing my best to grow the channel, and it's very difficult to grow a YouTube channel, let me tell you right now. You put a lot of effort into videos, really educational videos, but unfortunately, things that are helpful, sometimes they're not as exciting. They're not as in your face, catching you, right? So a lot of that value just seems to go over people's heads. So, you know, I'm looking at new ways to try and get some engagement and try and get these videos, you know, in front of people's eyes, because that's the goal. You know, as much as I love making the content, I really want to get it in front of people's eyes so they can actually see it. So, you know, if you guys enjoy this, please let me know. If you have any content you want to see, anything you want me to talk about, again, let me know. I'm just trying to grow the channel. You know, I'm working hard at it. I hope you enjoy the content. I'll do my best to, again, keep putting out 4 to 5, you know, long format videos each week here on YouTube. But there's a lot of exciting stuff happening. I'm working on a collab, hopefully this weekend, with a strongman from England, a under 105 kilogram strongman, I believe. Very elite. He's also a strength coach, and he's in Sydney. So hopefully going to get down and do some sort of a session. Maybe we can put out some sort of a strongman session, because I wouldn't mind having a bit of a dabble in that again for a bit of fun. Could be a good little workout. But yeah, we got some merch on the website still. There's still a couple of shirts left. The Godlike Power oversized pump covers, cultstrength.square.site. We have programs, of course, and personalized online coaching. My books are open. That is for the more serious lifter, not for the casual lifter. It is a premium service for those whose biggest objective is getting big, fucking jacked, fucking strong, and they want to do well. That's who I really want to work with, people that are really dedicated, who are really willing to make the sacrifice, because that's what it takes to be great. That's what it takes to be big and strong. And you all know that. But again, I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you've had a bloody great weekend. I know it's Monday now, but there's another weekend coming soon. But do your best to enjoy the week. And I'll be back tomorrow with a bench press session. Do apologize for a little lag in videos. We're just dealing with some niggles and some pain in the body. So I took a few days off training, but I feel fantastic now and ready to push on for some big numbers. So heavy bench press tomorrow. And I think we're looking at 500 pounds for a couple of sets and some reps. Very good. Like this video, drop a comment and subscribe. And you know what to do. Go to the fucking gym, baby. Let's do it.